What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We are at LKQ. We don't come here very often, but I got to get some parts for the Mitsubishi Diamante. And while we're at it, we're going to take a quick look at some of these old classic cars they got sitting here up front. Take a look at this, guys. A 1966 Pontiac Grand Prix sitting next to an old T-Bird. She took a little ding to the front there. Somebody already pulled the drivetrain out of her. Man, what a shame. This thing's actually not in horrible condition. It's really not. There's your transmission. A few extra components there. We got a 65 T-Bird right here. I got a soft spot for the T-Birds, guys. I really do. Oh man, look at that cluster. That cluster, you could probably walk out of here with it for 20 bucks. I don't know how much it's worth. I bet it's worth more than what it would cost you to walk out the door with it here today. Man, what is this? What is this? Let's take a look. They got stickers back here. A 1982 Buick LeSabre. Nope, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. Oh, she's clean. She's still got the powertrain and everything. Oh, you can't get in there. That may very well be a Buick LeSabre, but it ain't. It's a LeSabre, but this ain't an 82, guys. This ain't an 82. Looks like we got a Ford up here. A couple of Fords, actually. A Falcon. Ranch wagon. I love these old cars. I need to get another one on the channel soon. Oh, hold on. No way. No way. You guys know what this is? Comment right now if you know what this is. This is a 55 Chieftain. This is a Pontiac Chieftain. Yes, it is. 1955 Pontiac Chieftain. Are you serious? Oh man. Obviously this thing's gone. This thing is done, but dang it, man. Look at that old girl. I wonder if she still got anything under the hood. Don't worry, we're gonna move on. Oh. Yep, she sure does. Single barrel V8 under the hood. Okay, man. What a find. Unbelievable. Okay, guys, let's get over to the Mitsubishi Diamante and see what parts they have left, if any. So here it is, guys. We found one. They have one out here, and it is very complete. It's a 2002 Mitsubishi Diamante. There are a few differences with this generation. The hood, as you can see, has this big curve down the middle here that intersects with the grill right here. So you have kind of like a two-piece grill. It's still a one-piece, but the hood slides over. It makes it look like a two-piece grill. Complete, guys. This thing is complete. Now, the main thing that I need out of this is that brake reservoir cap. Unfortunately, as you can see, it looks broken. But I'm hopeful that maybe it'll have a good gasket that we can use for the one that we have at AR headquarters. Now, there's some other things I could use, but I'm not overly concerned about. The seats, obviously. The seats here are in really, really good condition. I could use those. I'm not going to bother with it today. I may not bother with it at all, honestly. But if I needed a good set of seats, this has it, guys. Good seats up front, good seats in the back. Although there's nothing wrong with the back seats of the other one, so I probably wouldn't bother with those either. Door panels, anything you could need for this car, this one has. I mean, look how beautiful these seats are. The glove box door is in good shape. The other thing I'm going to go ahead and pull today is this. I need this. I'll consider pulling that radio too. I may need that as well. But I definitely want this surround. It's missing on mine, and that makes it look really, really ugly. So I'm definitely going to pull that. I may pull the radio and take that with me as well. And I'm going to take that brake reservoir cap and hope that we can make it work, because you can't find them. There's no aftermarket for these. They're a very weird type of cap. The master cylinder, I believe, is actually made by AC Delco. Those things are not cheap. You cannot find the cap, and if you buy the whole reservoir, they can get pretty expensive, guys. So let me take it off real quick, and let's see if it's something we can even use. All right, so it took me maybe 5 minutes to pull all this stuff out. I'm tempted to go ahead and take all of this with me, guys. I think that aftermarket stereo was installed in, not the most professional manner, and this all comes together. Unfortunately, everything broke. All these plastic pieces they just snap. I mean, look how brittle. Yeah, so how are we gonna put the front back on it? I'm thinking my old trick, hot glue. That might be the only way, but I'm thinking we're gonna grab the climate control, the factory stereo, the little cubby hole. I don't remember if this is broken or not, but this actually came out in one piece, so I think we're gonna go ahead and grab this as well. We also got that broken cap. The cap is no good, but it does have the gasket that I'm missing. So as long as I didn't throw away my old cap, which I think I did, this should work. If nothing else, this will work better than what's on it now. I also pulled the ashtray because I don't remember if that one has it or not. This one has never been smoked in. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. And then, like I said, this thing broke. You can see it's cracked right there. It cracked and broke right there. It's not the best, but it sure looks better than having a giant hole in the center of your car there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that as well. Maybe even take this, like a little, I don't know where this goes. Looks like it goes maybe right here. Cup holder right there. We'll take that too, because I don't know if mine has it or not. And yeah. Actually, we won't take it. We'll just leave it sitting there. If I need the stuff, I'll come back for it. But these are the parts we came for. We got them. Let's get down to AR headquarters and see if we can make this stuff work. All right, so we made it back. Here's the car. And I've got a lot of people asking, why am I wasting my time on this hunk of junk? And I know there's some of you out there that feel like this is a great car, but I think the majority of you are looking at this and saying, what a heap. There's no sense in putting any money into it. Well, this is the kind of stuff that I love, guys. I really love these old cars that we can take from being abandoned, not running, and put it back on the road again. I've got some parts for this thing. It's going to require removing the upper plenum. I've never worked on one of these engines before, so this should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing the upper intake plenum gasket, the EGR gasket as well, the valve cover gaskets, the plugs, wires, cap, rotor. We have all of that stuff right here. New valve cover gaskets here, that upper plenum gasket, EGR gasket, PCV valve, because one of these clogged up could cause it to start blowing oil, popping out seals. We got an ignition rotor. We got plug wires. We've got the distributor cap. I don't even know what this is. This is the transmission oil filter. That's right. 6 platinum spark plugs, 2 gallons, because I have no clue how much. This is slush box, guys. You're just going to drain it and then fill it back up. This is some good trans fluid right here. A little bit of antifreeze. It was a tad bit low. I went ahead and filled that up already. We got the new interstate battery that we got from Austin Car. I think we are about good to go, but real quick, a couple things. We got a shipment from Super Clean today. I love getting stuff from Super Clean. I don't know what they sent me. They didn't even tell me they were sending me anything. They sent me some stickers. Yeah, some stickers. We got some Super Clean stickers here. Oh, looks like we got a... Oh, they gave me a list of like all of their best products. Their all-wheel cleaner, floor absorbent. I love that floor absorbent. And I love the aerosol Super Clean. The foaming trigger, also very nice. Wheel cleaners and stuff. So they sent me some more floor absorbent, of course. The bottle of degreaser. The wheel cleaner, and the aerosol cans. Man, I thank you to Super Clean for always hooking us up, man. These guys have been taking great care of us. We've also got Okmo solar panels, guys. This is not a sponsored deal yet, but I am working with this company. These are portable solar panels and power stations. That's the solar panel. I'm waiting for the power station. This is going to help homeless people have electricity, possibly even provide them with a little bit of heat when it's cold. We'll get into that another time. And then from LP3D UK, I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's 3D United Kingdom. LP, I don't know what it stands for, but LP3DUK.com sent me this 1957 Chevy 3D printed wall art in a really nice frame. Super, super cool. Definitely want to give a big shout out to him. Link to him will be below. He's got a store, guys. He's got more than just a 57 Chevy. You can get pretty much anything you can imagine just like this. In a frame, you can hang it up on your wall. I think it looks really, really cool. Look at the design, man. It's really nice. This is really nice. So I'm glad he reached out to me. I think it's really awesome. Go check lp3duk.com out. He's also on Instagram, lp3duk on Instagram as well. Go check him out. Thank you so much. He sent this to me all the way from the United Kingdom, and it made it here. This is what he does. He makes these things, and he sends them to people all over the world. Go check him out. Get one for yourself. Now over here, we have all the parts that we got from the salvage yard. Thankfully, I have the old cap. I was able to find the old cap. I did not throw it away. These, like I said, these are impossible to find, okay? I found it, and the gasket that came out of the broken one fits perfectly. We also have a replacement tail light for the broken one on the back. Turns out this car already has the ashtray. It already has the vents. It already has almost all of the stuff I bought, but it does not have this right here. And even though this isn't in the greatest shape, like I said earlier, it still beats not having one at all. And that seat there, that is awful. If we can get this thing where it will run and drive reliably, I would be more than willing to go grab that seat and throw it in here. Yeah, see how janky all this is? My thought is, why don't we just take this whole thing out and put the factory stuff back in? This is junk. All of this, the way this is all thrown in here is absolute junk. This looks awful. I would much rather put all the factory stuff back, throw this in here. Look how much better that'll look. It's going to look so much better, guys. Now, the only question I have is, will it run? We haven't been down here in weeks. Let's see. Fired right up. She fired right up, man. I'd also like to fix the dash lights. They don't work. I'd like to try to figure out what's going on with those. Maybe it's just a fuse, but there's these weird blue, there they are, the blue LEDs, man. You got to turn those on if you want dash lights. Yeah. All right, she runs. She fired right up, came right to life. I don't want it getting hot on us because, you know, well, we're going to be tearing into the engine here in just a minute. So let's not get her too hot. Let me get everything set up and we will start ripping this thing apart. So even though I've never done this before, I'm not going to bother looking up how to do it. I don't think it's all that complicated. Get the air box and associated stuff out of the way over here, remove all the crap off the top of the engine, and then pull the upper plenum off, which is probably only held on by, I don't know, 6 bolts or something like that. So I'm going to start with removing all of this, and then hopefully we can get this out of the way, and this out of the way, and this will free up a lot more room. It gives us a lot more room to work. I'll get this cover off. Looks like there's only 2 little bolts holding that on there. Actually, there's 2 more up here. We'll take those out as well. And then this plastic cover hopefully will come off as well. Then we can really see what we're working with. All right, that wasn't too bad so far, but I got a feeling it's going to get a lot worse. It's like, ooh, rat poop. Real nice. Real nice. Lots of rat poop. Oh, I had a suspicion that this thing had probably been sitting for a long time. It is a timing belt motor. I'd been questioning that for a while. That sucks. Yeah, you guys wondered if I'm going to do the timing belt too? Probably not. Probably not. So hopefully this upper plenum comes off nice and easy so that we can gain access to the rear valve cover. But obviously the plugs are super easy to do on the front. Plugs, wires, PCV valve, very simple to do up here. On the back side, however, it starts getting a lot more complicated. As you can see, we cleared all this out of the way. This made room to get to the automatic transmission filter. Yes, it is a spin-on style filter, super nice. The drain plug is way down there. Again, fairly easy to get to. But this, you guys see the vacuum lines and everything. Just, I mean, look, this is, well, reminiscent of the 90s, right? Okay, so this is going to be fun. I maybe should have read up on this a little bit before I took this on. Look at all these solenoids and everything up here. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Okay, you know what? We can't sit here and complain. Let's just jump into it. I think we can get all this off. We shouldn't have to take off the fuel rail or anything. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's got to be more than that. I guarantee you they're hiding under the mouse poop. All of that is mouse poop. So I'm going to have to get the vacuum out. And let's suck that stuff out. And we'll get to the rest of the bolts. I'm guessing there's probably about six bolts under there. We'll get this loose. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we can just kind of slide it and manipulate it out of the way. All right, so here's where we're at. Lots and lots of little vacuum lines and coolant hoses. And oh, it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. In fact, you can hear one leaking right now. Let's try to stop that from leaking. There we go. There we go. Okay, so lots of vacuum lines, lots of plugs, lots of connectors. What a rat's nest of beep. We'll just throw that in there, okay? I think we've got it all disconnected. Now we can take this super simple upper plenum off. Super simple, guys. There's an EGR tube on the back. There's an EGR valve on the back. There's like 3 metal brackets on that, like over-engineered to the extreme. Let's see if we can maneuver this. I haven't disconnected the throttle linkage. I'm hoping we can leave it and just kind of move it out of the way just enough so we can get to these valve covers, do the spark plugs, and all of that good stuff. All right, are we ready? Are we ready? Absolutely ridiculous to have to go through this just to do a tune-up. Like, seriously, just to do a tune-up. There's that EGR valve. I don't even know why I took that off, but since we did, it didn't have to come off. How about that? Since we took it off, I guess we might as well just go ahead and replace the gasket anyway. I'm going to take this ground strap off real quick just to move this out of my way a little bit. And hopefully from here we can just kind of sit this to the side. I'll put my bolt back in so I don't lose it. By golly, George, I think we just might be able to get in here and get this thing done. How far can we move this? Oh, we can move this way out of the way. Very, very, very nice. All right, I've made some progress. Look at how beautiful the engine is on this thing. I'm truly blown away by how clean the cylinder heads are in this. The back one is the same way. Absolutely beautiful, guys. She is in really good shape on the inside. Doesn't look so good on the outside, but on the inside, this thing is in phenomenal condition. Timing belt, you can't really see much of it, but I got a pretty good view of it. It looks to be in pretty dang good shape. I was impressed with that. From what I can see of it, it actually looks pretty good. I also found a coolant leak. I knew it was leaking something at some point, but as the coolant goes down, it kind of stops leaking. But there was a little hose somewhere over here, one of these mini hoses that I get to figure out where they all go later. One of them had a little bitty crack in it, and it's a coolant hose, and it was leaking a little bit. So there you go. About to put the new valve cover gaskets on. They were brittle, hard as a rock. These things right here are supposed to be flexible. That's me squeezing as hard as I can. Listen to this. Yeah, that's... Yep. And one of them, when it hit the ground, actually shattered. So yeah, inside the valve cover is also very clean. Look at this. This is the front head, and this is the rear head. Both valve covers are in very good condition. Getting that gasket out is going to be fun. It is brittle. It is hard as a rock. That's probably going to take me, I don't know, 3 hours just to pry those out of there. And then, when I'm done, we get to figure out how to put all this back. You know, I don't label anything, so we still have to pull the plugs, plug wires, cap, rotor, and transmission filter. I think that's getting to a point where we'd be almost done. So I'm going to jump back into this. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll pull the spark plugs out real quick. Let's take a look at them, see what they look like. So here's the spark plugs. This is the Bosch Platinum, Bosch, whatever you want to call it, Platinum that I'm putting back in it. It's got a fairly nice gap there. These are Champion coppers, and they're in pretty rough shape, guys. These things have no electrode left. These are done. These are done. So good thing we did this while we're in here. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the new plugs, get the valve covers reinstalled, and then I guess we'll sort through this ridiculous spaghetti mess of wires and hoses and start buttoning her back up. All right, she's starting to go back together, although I'll tell you what, a couple of these bolts have fought me like crazy, man. A couple of the valve cover bolts, man, they don't want to play nice. Finally, it took me, honestly, the hardest part of this whole thing so far was putting the valve covers back on, because just one bolt over there didn't want to go in and one bolt over here. And as soon as you loosen it all up and get that one in, then another one doesn't want to fit. It's cat and mouse, guys. But we got both of the valve covers back on. Take a look. We got fresh spark plug tube seals in there as well. See that beautiful blue? All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now, obviously, before I go throwing the plug wires back on, we got to put the new plug wires on as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. But before we go any further, this is the old PCV valve. Listen to this. Oh, you don't hear anything. Yeah, that's because that PCV valve was bad. Listen to this. That's what it should sound like. This one is nice and free. This one is clogged up. That causes too much pressure to build up inside the engine, and that can actually cause it to blow things like valve cover gaskets, cam seals, crank seals, timing chain gasket, oil pan gasket, rear main seal, all of those things. It's really important. Believe it or not, this little thing right here is super, super important. So you squeeze that back into the valve cover, and you put your hose back on it. Boy, that is... There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, and now she can breathe again. Look how simple that was. It'd been a lot easier if I had two hands. I guess next I'll go ahead and start tackling the spark plug wires. That should be fun because they all run way over here. The distributor cap sits under there, under all that spaghetti. Yeah, this is going to be lots of fun. All right, it's time to go on with the new distributor cap and rotor bug, and I'm going to show you the difference between the old and the new. As it turns out, this car in 230-some thousand miles has never had a tune-up. Never. And it's still running. This is a testament to how solid these things are. This is ridiculous. I believe this engine's designation is a 6G74, and she's still running on factory plugs, wires, cap, and rotor. So here's the new rotor bug, or distributor rotor, whatever you want to call it. Some people get mad when I call it a rotor bug, but whatever. Here is the old one. Look at that. I mean, this thing is disintegrated. There's hardly anything left of it. It's in bad shape. The new distributor cap, obviously quite nice looking. Okay, they're even nice enough to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so you can do like I did and just pull all the plug wires off and worry about it later. Here is the original one. Look at that. It got the Mitsubishi symbol on it and everything. And look at the inside. There's nothing left. It's just completely destroyed. Now, this stuff goes back together relatively easily. The rotor, I already know where it goes. It's going to face me over here. So the distributor's right there. You just got to push that on real good. And you got to remember when you're doing a tune-up on these, this piece right here, okay, it was all covered in rust and corrosion. Get a wire brush, clean that out, because that is basically the spark. That's going to be your coil. It runs through here in the distributor cap, runs to this center that's going to spin and fire on all your cylinders. If you don't have that clean, it's covered in corrosion, it's not going to fire very well. Then you just bolt this back on like so, relatively simple. It only goes on one way. You really can't, well, I don't want to say you can't screw it up. I could screw it up, but put this back in here just like that. That's it right there. Okay, put the screws in it, and we can start running our new plug wires. Then we can, I'm not looking forward to this. There's one hose that broke. I've got to replace it. There's another hose that has a crack in it that was leaking coolant. I got to figure that out because I don't have another coolant hose. And then we get to fish all of this stuff back together again. All right, moment of truth, guys. It took a little while, but not too long. I've got everything kind of temporarily put back together. When I say everything, I mean all of this is done, obviously. That is all done. Everything is bolted back the way it should be. New EGR gasket, new valve cover gaskets, all of it. It's all done. I tried my best to follow the original path for the spark plug wires down to the distributor, hoping everything is hooked up right, because if it's not, This is not one of those deals where it's like, oh, it's cool, we'll just swap a few plug wires around. No, you're taking a bunch of stuff back off again, because this is a mess. This is a cluster F. We got the mass airflow sensor hooked up. When I say temporarily hooked up, this piece right here, the air intake assembly, this is the only piece that I've got temporarily hooked up, because I may pull it back out again to have better access to the master cylinder, as well as that automatic transmission filter. This is going to be a real first start. I just hooked up the battery, and it's time to see if we got it all right, or if we didn't. 234,000 miles on factory plugs and factory wires. Wow. If she ran before, she should run great now. You guys ready? Here we go. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I tried my best to clean the intake runners while I was in there. So it's got a lot of brake clean, the carburetor cleaner, down the intake. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this door a little bit. We got 60 mile an hour. Oh, wow. All that's going to do is blow wind right back into my shop. So I don't know what good that's going to do, but she's probably going to smoke a lot. Come on, old girl, you can do it. Oh, listen to that. That is pure sexiness right there. Listen to her purr. Okay, so that exhaust leak has, you know, all the exhaust gases are just blowing up here, but listen to her. Listen to how perfect she's running. I do hear an accessory squeal going on down there. I don't know what it is, but she's gonna smoke for a minute, and then it should stop, and it shouldn't smoke anymore because the valve covers are sealed. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We'll let her run for a little bit. I refilled the coolant and everything, and replaced that broken hose. Yeah, here comes the smoke. She's got to burn all that. I sprayed carb cleaner all over this thing, trying to clean off the exhaust. Well, she's smoking pretty good. Let's take a look down there, just make sure. Woo, boy. Look at that. That's actually smoking a lot. Well, I'm going to give her a few minutes, guys. Let this stuff burn off a little bit. Hopefully that's what happens. And we'll come back and see if this smoke has subsided, because it is really starting to smoke up in here. All right, we're back. The smoking has gone way down. As you can see, there is a lot of oil buildup on here from years of this thing leaking. Nobody changed the valve cover gaskets. Nobody did a tune-up on it. It looks like somebody just didn't take care of it, but if that was the case, how the heck did it make it to 230-some thousand miles? Definitely couldn't have done that on the factory belt, I can promise you that. We've got good pressure on the cooling system. She seems to be running really well. She's idling nicely, just under 1,000 RPM. And I think the next thing I want to focus on as I let this cool off for a little bit is getting this monstrosity of a stereo system removed. Even though I will admit it does sound pretty good, this looks horrible. Take that off, that's mine. I would like to just remove this whole thing, and I'm going to put the original factory stuff right back in it, and I think it's going to transform the whole way this thing looks, and maybe even fix the dash lights, because something tells me somebody probably wired the illumination wire wrong on this and popped the fuse. Oh, look, that comes and goes as it pleases anyway. So we're going to pull all this out, swap it out with the one from the other Diamante, check the fuses, and maybe we can get our dash lights to come back to life. All right, so what do you think of the before and after? There it is, installed with its factory parts, factory Infinity CD player. Everything is hooked up. Unfortunately, I'm sure they bypassed the amp. So now, even though this comes on, you can turn on FM. You have no sound at all. None. Yep. Climate control is working. The fan sounds a little rough, but I mean, it's there, it works, it blows out where it's supposed to blow out. Let's fire it up real quick. She starts right up. I noticed one thing though, I have not been able to fix the dash lights. But I got to looking, and isn't this the dash light button right here? It's gone. So I took it out. I took all of this apart. All right, all of this instrument cluster, I took it apart, and you would think it'd be laying down in there somewhere, and it's not. So if anybody has any clues that can help me out, I would sincerely appreciate it, because this is missing. And if this is turned all the way down, or if this is disconnected, that could very well be the reason why we have no dash lights at all. I ripped off all of the crap. I took all the wires that were in here, all these stupid little lights. Like, I just ripped it all out. I want this car to go back looking. I mean, it's never going to look beautiful, you know, but I want it to look as good as it can. Sunroof? Yeah, it works. Needs a headliner. Am I going to put a headliner in it? No. No, I'm absolutely not. But somebody else can. If we can get this seat replaced, by the way, the heat is working absolutely great. I don't think we checked the air conditioning, though. I'm pretty sure the air conditioning is not going to work. No, I don't think the AC is going to work. Let's see if we can hear anything. I'll tell you what, guys, real quick. You put that seat in here, you get that seat installed, and this car suddenly looks totally different. Totally different. You can hear it's running nice and quiet. Real good pressure on the cooling system now. I mean, she runs great. You can see that smoking has subsided. There's still a little bit of smoke. This radiator cap is leaking a tad bit. That seems to be the main place we're getting smoke from right now. You know, the floor is a mess. I don't think we're going to get to everything I was supposed to get to tonight, guys. I still got to get the wheels off of this so we can go get new tires installed for it. Yeah, the AC is definitely not running. It just runs so good, though. It runs so good. I would like to get that exhaust leak fixed. I am going to go put tires on it. We're probably going to have to do that in a different video, guys. Here's the tires that I got for it, a set of Primewell All Seasons. I got them for 200 bucks on eBay. They're 215/60 R16s. They've got 9/32 tread left. They're practically new tires. Look at the tread on these things. This is not like a car that had an alignment problem. These tires look great. So I'm going to go ahead and get these wheels off, get this car up in the air. I'm going to haul those back to the house with me. If you have any idea, and yes, I've already taken this apart. I've already been up under here. I can't find that switch or the wiring that goes to it anywhere at all, anywhere. But hopefully it looks a little bit better now. Let's turn that back up to 90. There we go. Oh man, the heat works great. So if anybody was wondering if the heat works, yes, it does. Yes, it does. The heat works great. She goes right into gear, forward and backward. It's not perfect. It never will be a perfect car. But she's come a long way. She's come a long way, guys. A long way from this. You know, with this crap. Look at all this. Come on, man. Really? Ugh. Anyway, I would like to fix the dash lights if possible. The brakes have gotten air in the lines, so the brakes are not good at all. There was no gasket on there, so it's just been shooting brake fluid out for a long time. Now that we got that taken care of, we can bleed the brakes. But guys, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Snow is supposed to start soon, and I got to get home and edit this video for you guys. So unfortunately, this is as far as I'm going to get. I was a little too optimistic, thinking that we were going to get the tires done, the brakes done, fix that light, maybe even replace the seat. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back in the next video on this car, and we're going to finish putting it all back together. I'll obviously clean my shop. We'll do the transmission fluid change, the drain and fill with the new filter and everything as well. We'll get the new tires on it. We will bleed the brakes and finish buttoning up the engine. And hopefully at that point, this car runs, drives, and stops like a dream. I'd like to get this seat replaced in the next series as well, the next episode, I guess. We'll get this tail light replaced as well to make it look a little bit better. Uh-oh. That doesn't work. Anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is we'll be back and we'll continue with this car. I hope you guys are enjoying it. The first video didn't do very well, and that's okay because I decided instead of making this about views, I'm going to do this just because I want to do it. I want to take this old car that JR started putting back together, and I want to bring it as far as I can bring it reasonably, and then we'll send it down the road. I don't know what we're going to do with it at the end of this video series, though. I really don't. I might give it away. I'm actually really considering just giving it away to a subscriber. Maybe we'll give it away to somebody that wants to come down here and do the timing belt. Highly recommend time belt. I'm not doing it. I got too many other things that I'm doing on this car. But if we gave this car away, I think it could be a lot of fun. Maybe a new YouTuber or something out there could take the car, we'll bring it back down here, do the timing belt. I got all the tools and everything you're going to need. Do the timing belt, water pump on it, maybe thermostat and everything as well, and see if it makes it back to wherever it is they're coming from. I think that could be a lot of fun. It could be a really interesting giveaway and a really cool story, passing it on from one YouTuber to another and then another. And maybe someday this car will look brand new again. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, and I sure hope you did, I put quite a bit of effort into it, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. And if you didn't, well, hit the thumbs down button. One more time, if you have any ideas why I don't have dash lights, or I'm betting it's because that switch is missing, the dimmer switch. If you have any idea where that thing could be, I've already looked everywhere under there. I don't see it. Please, 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 I beg you, drop a comment. Before you ask, yes, I checked fuses already. I spent probably about the last 30 or 40 minutes going through every fuse, pulling relays. That's not it, guys. I'm betting the switch is missing. Some kid or something was doing wiring and probably shoved it somewhere. I would like to know where that switch goes to. Where do the wires originate from so I can start focusing on that, and hopefully we can get the dash lights working. Guys, the next video of this should be a lot of fun, but next week, I know you guys are probably tired of this. A lot of you are asking, where is the SN95, the 2000 Mustang GT that I picked up? Well, I picked it up and I blew it up. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. I pushed it from that stoplight out yonder. Pushed it right over here where it sits in the Brahms parking lot. Well, the wrecker just got here. Young's towing. They've been good to me. Looks like he's just going to have to back up to it, snatch it, and get up out of here, man. There it goes. I guess we'll meet him back at the house. Well, I didn't say it was going to make it here under its own power, I guess, but it did eventually make it here. So within 20 minutes, and I had to push it quite a ways down the road. Stay tuned for the Mustang video. That's going to be... I hope you guys really enjoy that one because it was a living hell for me. That video, the Mustang video that you guys have all been waiting for, that will be coming out next Saturday. Okay, so this Saturday you got the Diamante. Next Saturday, I promise you, one way or another, we're releasing the video on the Mustang GT. I did blow it up pretty good. It's going to require some work, okay? And I've already bought a special tool that's going to be needed. It was almost $500 to do this job, and then I still got to buy parts. So stay tuned. I promise you, you don't want to miss the 2000 Mustang GT. That thing is lowered. It's got a camber kit. It's got Rovos wheels. The thing is exhaust intake. Like, that car, honest to God, is sick. And when you find out what I paid for it, you're going to die. You're going to die, even with the trouble with it. You'll die at how cheap I got that car for from IA. So stay tuned for that. Till next time, folks, stay safe out there. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.